Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazing You podcast and YouTube channels. And huge thank you to the audience for watching, sharing, and subscribing for the past 4 years. And if you are new today, very warm welcome to the channel. This channel is where stories of resilience, triumph, and unwavering hope come to life. And in each episode, we dive into the inspiring journey of individuals who have faced the toughest challenges heads-on and emerge victorious. Our aim is to be a beacon of inspiration, offering a guiding light to those navigating through difficult times. And whether today you are dealing with health challenges, professional setbacks, or personal struggles, this channel is dedicated to uplifting your spirit and showing you that even in the darkest moments, there is a path to hope and triumph. So join us as we share powerful stories that transcend adversity, reminding you that resilience is a force within us all. So be prepared, everybody, to be inspired and to find the strength to navigate life challenges. I am your host. My name is Dr. Rani Thanacoody. I am a clinical hypnotherapist using rapid transformational therapy method. I am a Mars-Venus life and relationship coach, breathwork coach, astrologer, tarot reader, past life regression practitioner, and life force compassion practitioner. And today, I am super happy to introduce you to my very special guest who comes every year. And today it's a year since he's been on the podcast. He is my mentor and teacher, and he's the very well-known Dr. John Gray. Dr. John Gray is the author of the most well-known and trusted relationship book of all time, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. His book has been listed as one of the top 10 most influential books of the last quarter century. In hardcover, it was #1 best-selling book of the 1990s, and Dr. John Gray's books are translated in approximately 45 languages in more than 100 countries and continues to be a bestseller. Dr. John Gray has written over 20 books, and his most recent book is Beyond Mars and Venus, Relationship Skills for Our Complex Modern World. And he is at present writing another book that will be published next year. And Dr. John Gray helps men and women better understand and respect their differences in both personal and professional relationships. His approach combines specific communication techniques with healthy, nutritional choices that create the brain and body chemistry for lasting health, happiness, and romance. His many books, blogs, and free online workshops at marsvenus.com provide practical insights to improve relationships at all stages of life and love. An advocate of health and optimal brain function, he also provides natural solutions for overcoming depression, anxiety, and stress to support increased energy, libido, hormonal balance, and better sleep. He has appeared repeatedly on Oprah, as well as on the Dr. Oz Show, Today, CBS This Morning, Good Morning America, and others. And he has been profiled in Times, Forbes, USA Today, and People. He was also the subject of a 3-hour special hosted by Barbara Walters. Dr. John Gray is the brand founder of the Mars Venus Coaching. Mars Venus Academy aims at improving the quality of life through personal and professional education, changing the world one relationship at a time by applying gender intelligence into your life. So very warm welcome, Dr. John Gray, to Amazing You.
Well, thank you so very, very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
It is always mine as well, a great honor. Thank you so much for taking your busy schedule to talk to the audience. And I've got a very interesting question to ask you that will interest a lot of women. And it's up because nowadays more and more women are stepping into leadership roles and they are embodying traditionally masculine traits like independence and drive. So, how can these women, while staying connected to their feminine core in a romantic relationship, how can they do that to stay connected in their feminine core?
Well, that's a broad question, which is why I've decided to write a whole book, which is the answer to that question. That book is going to be coming out later this year. It's
Okay.
the title. The title of that book is, well, it's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, book one in a series. And this particular book one is being happy with or without a man. Very important, because the foundation of a good relationship for a woman is to be happy without a man. Then his job is not to be responsible for your happiness, but to take you to a higher level. And that's a theme. When we see what's happened today, it's just what you pointed out, with more women in leadership roles. When you're leading others and we're setting goals, and when you have challenges that you're facing every day to achieve a goal, solving problems, fixing things, analyzing, making decisions, particularly decisiveness. It's whenever you make a decision, you're always facing risk. That's the leadership role. You're always facing risk. And biologically, a man's body is designed to face risk. A woman, not so much on her own, but with a team, yes. So biologically, when I'm taking a risk or you're taking a risk, our body hormone testosterone increases, and also dopamine increases. Anytime there's some risk, some potential danger, dopamine goes up. And for men, testosterone goes up. And for women, if you have support in your life, your estrogen will go up due to dopamine. But if you don't feel support and you're on your own, then you make testosterone if you're a woman. And women make a lot of testosterone anyway. It's just when they're making too much and not enough estrogen, that's when they're feeling overwhelmed. And this is just the state. Most women feel this overwhelmed. I have no time for me. And what goes along with overwhelm is not enough time, not enough support. It's really the underlying thing is not enough. So not enough time, not enough support will turn into stress. And stress actually mimics that state in a woman's body. When the actual biological state for a woman, when her brain recognizes I'm in stress, is when her estrogen levels are low and her testosterone levels are high. Now we can say that danger, when you're in a dangerous situation or a stress situation, your testosterone naturally goes high, your estrogen goes down. But if your testosterone just happens to be high testosterone, low estrogen, your brain thinks you're in danger when you're not. See, that's the whole thing. And let me give you an example of one of the major stress reducing techniques that almost everybody teaches is take a breath.
Yes.
Relax on the exhale. Take another breath. Be conscious of your breathing, okay, and relax. You relax by increasing your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. That puts you in the parasympathetic nervous system. Your body can relax. Well, if you just hold your breath, and you notice if you're holding your breath, your brain actually thinks that you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. You're in danger, okay? Because the brain has not changed that much. Okay, the back part of the brain that regulates stress is pretty consistent for millions of years. It's the prefrontal cortex that separates us from our ancestors. But when your brain looks at that you're holding your breath, your carbon dioxide levels in your brain will change, and your brain goes, "Oh, I'm in danger." Then it will automatically produce stress responses. Because it thinks, it's like it's blind. It's listening to your breathing to know am I in danger or not. That's why if you just change your breathing, your brain will start to think I'm relaxed. Well, there's another thing you can change as well, which is your hormone levels.
Okay.
When a woman's testosterone levels are higher than her estrogen, it's mimicking a situation where a woman's life is in danger. So what would that situation be? This is just expanding our awareness to answer your question, but you need a little backup. When I was living down in the Amazon with 5 hours of hike into the jungle with 2 guides and so forth to live with these people, they were very, very stress-free. It's a very relaxed life. But if you look at the roles, the men are the only allowed in the jungle. The women aren't. Okay, they're cooking, they're taking care of children, they're nurturing activities, and they're protected. And men are not allowed into a certain place, in the cooking, into the gardening, and so forth. So there are very strict rules about what men can go, what women can do. And women are not allowed in the jungle because the jungle is a dangerous place. And so it's out of respect. They're honoring the female. It's not like controlling you. Oh, you can't go into the jungle. It's like people die in the jungle. Okay, so we've established that. So there I am walking around at night in this little village, very little village. In the middle of the Amazon somewhere, maybe 10 huts. Okay, so you don't feel protected by anything, and you can see the jungle right over there. It's now imagine that the men are all out on a hunting trip, and a woman is pregnant. They're almost all the women were taking care of children, or pregnant, or mothers and children running around. So here you are, and you're a woman, and you're pregnant, and you're out there under the moonlight, and you hear a tiger in the jungle. Well, what's going to happen to your hormones? Immediately, your testosterone is going to go up because you have to defend the group. And estrogen goes up when you feel I'm supported. When you're not feeling protected and supported, testosterone goes up. So your brain remembers that. It says if your testosterone's high and your estrogen's low, you're being faced with a tiger, even though you're not. The woman in present time, having that hormonal imbalance will create a high stress hormone, even as if you're in danger. So women are reacting quite a bit when their testosterone levels are too high. Now, men will react like they're in danger when their estrogen is too high and their testosterone is low. So we're like opposite mirrors. Now, for people that are not familiar with that, I just want to say it again because sometimes it takes a while to sink in.
Yes, please.
So estrogen is this female hormone. We call it the female hormone because women make 10 to 20 times more. Okay, so this is for women. And if they don't make it, we've measured that whenever a woman is stressed, her estrogen is low. Whenever a woman is stressed, her testosterone will tend to be higher, okay, than it normally is. There's exceptions, unless she has adrenal burnout, and then she's really tired. But her estrogen will be low, and generally it's because her testosterone, she's feeling, I have to make decisions, I have to do it all, because making decisions, leading, achieving goals produces testosterone. It doesn't make estrogen. So women are more stressed today than men are, and that's just a reality. It's a biological reality. Now there's a solution to this. We'll get to it.
Okay.
But just so that we have the clarity. For men, it's the opposite. For a man, when his testosterone goes up, for a man, it only goes up when he feels confident, okay, that I can be successful. For women, testosterone can go up even if she doesn't feel confident. It's just that if she has to handle something on her own. Okay, so if she can protect her child, and there's nobody around to protect that testosterone. That's mama power. Okay, so
okay.
Yes, so she's not dependent on self-esteem for her testosterone to go up. A man is. So that's why we have so many depressed men, is they're all low testosterone. Okay, when a man is either depressed or if a man is angry, his estrogen is too high and his testosterone is too low. So we make the mistake, historically, they made the mistake of thinking that testosterone causes men to be angry. It doesn't. It's when testosterone is going down and estrogen is going up, he's angry. Now, if a woman's testosterone is going down and her estrogen is going up, she's ovulating.
Okay.
she's feeling in the mood. Okay, she's happy. Okay, so it's the opposite. So we're mirror opposites. So now, the good news is that when women go onto their male side, being leaders, because that's a testosterone producing activity, if she anticipates coming home at the end of the day to somebody that can raise her estrogen, then her estrogen levels will stay somewhat high at the workplace.
Right.
And her stress levels will drop. Not because the workplace is stress-free, but because she anticipates going home to a situation where she feels nurtured and supported in ways that raise estrogen. You know, many of my clients, I'm a counselor for over 40 years, the women will say, I so look forward to our session, because when we do a counseling session, estrogen levels will rise.
Yes.
And just because they can anticipate that, they're already starting to feel the benefits of that. Many women can relate to planning a vacation. You're anticipating going on the vacation, and already you're checking your clothes and you're preparing for the whole thing. So the future has a big impact on our emotions and on our hormonal balance. The same thing for a man. When a man anticipates success, his testosterone will go up. If a man anticipates failure, his testosterone will go down and his stress will go up. For women, it's the anticipation of feeling I can depend on someone for something meaningful. So it's not all up to me, but I have help. So we can kind of summarize, just for the clarity of then seeing what practical solutions there are.
Yes.
What do women need most to produce estrogen that keeps their stress down? Is women need to feel, I need help. Now, this is hard for leaders, because as a leader, you're giving help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's a testosterone producer. Men need to feel, I can help, and women need to feel, I can receive help. Then when women feel I can receive help, then naturally they want to give help. But it's in balance. Then their testosterone and estrogen are in balance. And that was the wisdom of ancient civilizations, which is to recognize that marriage was a good thing, okay? Which is that women can give most to their children when they feel they have someone to help her with her survival and her security.
Yeah.
So now that women can take care of their own survival and their own security, being on their male side, and as you point out, as leaders, which is a major testosterone producer.
Major. Yes.
Major. What happens is, so they don't really need a man for the security, but the brain says hormonal imbalance.
Yes.
And so how does the hormonal imbalance come about if she is confident in her job and she can achieve? Or if she's not confident, it doesn't matter. If she has a job to do, women will do it.
Yeah.
So that's why you'll see women are outperforming men today. And even is that even if she's not confident she can do it, she'll still show up to do it.
Yeah.
And when men lose confidence, they don't show up. See, they become passive. They procrastinate. Whereas women, in many cases, over procrastinate by doing more, where men will do less. So now we're starting to see, in terms of hormones, some of the challenges we face in the world today, particularly with our younger generation of males, how there's a lot of failure to launch. You know, they can't find their way. They're kind of lost in many cases. What's my purpose? What's my meaning in life? And then they'll get in a relationship, they won't work out, and they're 8 times more likely to commit suicide than a woman. And they're 4 times more likely to commit suicide anyway than females. So there's a lot going on here in the world of, we're seeing the weakening of masculinity and the strengthening of women to be on their male side, but the estrogen being low causes stress in women. Now, when women are stressed, they have difficulty, higher risk of sleeping well. What is it? It's 4 times more in women than men. In certain parts of the world, when I was teaching a class, I was speaking at a symposium in Sao Paulo in Brazil. One of the doctors said that 95% of women take sleeping pills. You know, and I don't know that much about Brazil and Sao Paulo except my visits there. And it's one of the crowdest cities I've ever been in. You know, if you go in there, you're spending 2 hours in traffic. It's crazy to have that much ongoing chronic stress going on in people's lives. And for men, we're sort of designed to block it out. Okay, when it comes to relationships, we'll commit suicide and things like that. But when it comes to just normal stress, we become passive, and then we become more addicted to drugs.
Yes.
Interesting to understand the whole idea of addiction. For men, it's testosterone is self-reliance, independence. I can solve the problem. I'm a leader. Okay. when you give that up, what you are is you're dependent. So you have independent and then you have dependent. Well, dependence is what produces estrogen. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean you're totally dependent. It's like I need food. I'm dependent on food, but not totally dependent where I have to be eating all day, right?
Yes.
So the idea for independent women is that to strengthen their estrogen, they need to have in their personal life more different types of support that will amplify her estrogen. And normal life doesn't really do it. We need a little extra support, like going to a therapist, for example. Women that come to you would be getting a boost of estrogen. And what happens in coaching and counseling and in therapy is people feel they feel safe, not in danger for survival and security. They feel safe to express feeling.
Yes.
So that becomes the new need. And Maslow explained that in his hierarchy of needs, is that we start out with our survival needs and our security needs. And if you have somebody, and you're a woman, and you have somebody that provides that for you, then you're feeling very grateful, very happy. Your life is stressed. The stress levels drop down. Your estrogen is very high because you can depend on someone for that. But when you can depend on yourself for that, now you're not making estrogen. You're making testosterone.
Yes.
So Maslow explained that when your lower needs are being fulfilled, then your higher needs come into play. And particularly, I'll focus on 3 higher needs. One is the need for inclusiveness. That's how they say in business. We all need to be inclusive. But belonging, belonging is the actual Maslow phrasing. Feeling of belonging. And what I want to say for women is that men cannot give you that feeling of belonging. Okay. Ultimately, if you have a family and children, that will give you one sense of belonging. But before you can even get to a family and children, you need to feel, I belong to women. Okay. This is your ultimate belonging, is your tribe of women, that you have women friendships. And women, I see a lot of women who have problems in their marriage and they don't have friends in their life.
That's so true. That's so true. I've seen many. Yeah.
I remember one time I was on so many Oprah shows, but Oprah said she only had one friend. That was her friend. And so that in itself, she's so guarded and so protected. That would be not a healthy thing for a woman. Okay, you need to have a good 10 friends, generally speaking, people that you can, that's a rough number, but some people are more introverted. But this is so that you can share what's going on inside of your life, so you can talk. Okay, a key thing is talk therapy. And women, it turns out, biologically need to talk in order to lower stress. And belonging, you're talking with people who understand what you feel because they have the same issues that go on in their life. And you won't get that from a man. See, a man cannot, we don't wear dresses, we don't wear high heel shoes, we don't have to do our hair, we don't know, people are not measuring us on our looks. That's
so true. Yes.
It's I mean, we should be measured, and we have our challenges as being measured on what we can do, whereas women are challenged by who they are and how they look. I mean, that's just a reality which is in our life. Okay, and women are about more what's inside that comes out, and also how you look and the clothing you wear, the dress. It's so easy for a man. I can dress up and put on a jacket, that's a suit jacket. That's it. That's all I have to wear, in black pants and a blue shirt, and I look good. Okay,
absolutely.
So it's so simple, so simple. But being a man is not so simple. We have other ways that we build our self-esteem. But for a woman, here she is. She's a leader in the workplace. She has to balance that by what are the things that create estrogen in her life. And so you might say, well, why is clothes, your outfits? Well, because you depend more on what people think about you. See, it's like women are much more vulnerable to be people pleasers.
Yes,
and
that's
nothing wrong with being a people pleaser as long as you're not too much pleasing everybody to where you neglect yourself. And all the tests show that women are way more the people pleasers. There's some men, they tend to naturally be, and it's not a problem, more on their feminine side. But it's once you're naturally on your feminine side, you need help to balance that with your male side. And for me, I was naturally a people pleaser as a child growing up. And What helped me find my balance was at 18, 19 years old, I became a celibate monk where I was dependent on no one, not on women, not on food. I used to fast a lot. I would meditate a lot, I do spiritual work. So it was more independent life, very independent lifestyle. And that helped me find my balance as a man, because that's why I understand women so well and read all these books about women, because I have a part of me that bonded with my mother very much. I was the fifth child. And so after having four older brothers, my mother clearly wanted a girl.
Okay.
So I naturally was more on my female side. But I found she was a very smart mother who had me, have a lot of mentors. I've always had mentors growing up, males in my life, coaches and entrepreneurs, and had a paper route, various things. Had my own printing press. At 10 years old, I was sewing clothes and selling outfits at the karate place where I had a mentor karate man. So my mother was very wise, creating male influences in my life. And their big problem today with women trying to have relationships with men, they grew up without fathers in the home.
That's so true.
This is 50 to 70% of males grow up without a father in the home. You have no role model of what does it take to make a woman happy. You have no, how do you stay grounded when a woman's not happy? Okay, because part of the need that women have to cope with stress is to verbalize their unhappiness. Okay, that's called discontent. Okay, and that's what people do in therapy. We didn't come to therapy just to celebrate. We talk about problems. Well, that's why 90% of the people come to counselors and therapists are women, because they'll talk about problems. You're depending on someone to hear you in a way that doesn't judge you. And, the tendency inside in that moment was to say, as I'm sharing that with you, is what women will often say is, I need to share my feelings with somebody who will validate how I feel. Now, to validate how someone feels does not mean to agree with them. This is where it's a very confusing phrase. To validate is to acknowledge that I see that you're stressed, and what's going to come out of you are feelings and thoughts that are somewhat irrational, somewhat overreactions, something that's going to disappear, and you're going to change your mind very quickly about that. Because that's the whole point of therapy, is you go in with one mindset, you leave with a better mindset. So,
absolutely, yes.
You come in with a pair of glasses to see the world this way, and now you leave with another set of glasses, which means that everything you were thinking before was an overreaction or irrational, was incorrect thinking. So people have to realize that anytime you're having a stress response, your hormones are out of balance, your brain becomes hijacked. It becomes hijacked by negative thinking. There's so many things, but one simple one is making mountains out of molehills. It's like one of the best-selling books, along with Men Are From Mars back in the 90s, was Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Yes, I remember. I heard of that book.
And parentheses, and it's all small stuff. And, if you're a marriage counselor, you see that, couples argue and they're petty and they fight about the littlest things, the little stuff. And then it becomes something big, like infidelity or addiction. Okay. But long before it's those things, it's couples interacting like children.
Oh, yes.
That over the littlest things. And, here's a woman in a competent position. She's a leader in her company. People look up to her. She has all this sort of male confidence, which is good. She can't come home and embrace those negative emotions. They get pushed down and they get pushed down until they come up in the silliest ways. And why is that? Because it's something else, that the blessing and the curse of marriage. Okay. The blessing of marriage is that, well, you have a companion you can share and you can grow in love. You get a mirror to see yourself. There's so many ways you can grow in a relationship. But the curse is that, and the blessing is that you feel love. Okay. You don't feel love as an executive leading people. Okay. Nothing like the love you can feel in a marriage. It's a different world. It's a personal world.
Absolutely.
This is an impersonal world. And you want to blend them as much as you can, but they really are separate worlds. And in the personal world, where you have physical intimacy with someone, something dramatically changes in who we are, in that we behave in a way where we're somewhere between 2 years old and 6 years old. Now, I knew this before, but now as a grandfather of my 5th grandchild, I'm caring for her a bit. And she's 2.5 years old. And all I feel when I'm with her is love. Love,
yes.
love, love, love. You can't just, just love.
Absolutely.
And she loves me so much. She called me Gaga, and she walks me out to my car. She stands on the sidewalk to say, bye, Gaga, bye, Gaga, come back soon, come back soon. And this is
That's
a
so
2-year-old
cute.
saying this. So cute. Just opens my heart. I was going to say breaks my heart. It opens my heart.
Yeah, it does open.
So that's the childlike part of us. It's pure limbic system. It's no mind yet. It's a little bit of mind, but more pure love.
Yeah.
Well, when you physically connect with someone that you love, you get to experience that 6-year-old brain. This is biology. There's a part of our brain that just has been programmed from childhood. When we're up to 7 years old, we're in the brain's frequency of theta.
Yeah.
And so we're in a hypnotic state.
Yes.
You do hypnosis. You're helping people go into hypnotic state. You can change some of these deep beliefs inside that people have. But you've got to be in theta state for that to happen. Well, when you marry your partner, you suddenly start being in theta state a lot, which means you take things personally. Okay. You don't have much defense against what your partner says. If somebody neglects you in the work world, so you don't even notice it. Somebody gives you advice in the workplace. Okay, good idea, thanks. But when your partner's telling you, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, and you're a woman, and you get your feelings hurt. What do you mean I shouldn't feel that way? And that's what real validation is validation is understanding that you're in a vulnerable place, and maybe everything you say is not going to be logically correct. And that's normal and that's natural. And I don't see you as a less intelligent person. I don't see you as an unlogical person. I don't see you as an irrational person. I see you as sharing your vulnerable feelings that are your reactions, your temporary reactions to stress. So vulnerability, validation is I validate the process that you're in, not holding you in a space that just because your emotions are negative, that you're a negative person. See, that I've never heard anybody explain that, by the way. It took me a long time to reframe it that way. But that's what validation is I don't, if somebody comes to me and says, I feel like, if one of my daughters says, I feel like nobody likes me. I was to say, yeah, nobody likes you. That would not be it's not agreeing with someone. But women get confused. They think that I want you to agree with me as opposed to validate. And validate means you're still worthy of my utmost respect, my empathy, my understanding, and I see you as an intelligent human being, a loving, caring human being, even though what you're saying is an overreaction, making a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, so this is what we do. This is how the brain, men get hijacked too. Okay, we get hijacked, a mountain out of a molehill. There's something that happens in men before we will tend to make a mountain out of things, is we make a molehill out of things that are realistic. Okay, I won't say they're mountains, but what happens under moderate stress for men is that something different occurs in his brain than a woman's. People don't know this. What happens to a man under moderate stress is that blood flow leaves the emotional part of the brain completely. Under women under moderate stress, blood flow increases to the emotional part of the brain. This is biology. If you're producing adrenaline, that's moderate stress. Blood flow increases 3 times more in a woman compared to a man. And a man, it disconnects. It's becoming less. Okay, so we become detached under moderate stress. Women become more attached. They become, things have more meaning. They have more connection. They hold on. So a woman under moderate stress, moving on to higher stress, she will ruminate. So it take her 2-3 days thinking about something. Whereas a man, it will dissipate instantly. And women don't know that. Men can be upset, and if you just ignore they're upset, they'll be fine again. But if you hold on to wanting them to talk about what they're upset about, then they become more upset. So, for a man to be upset and talk to you as a therapist, he's not upset with you. So he will feel better. But if a man is upset with a woman and he's just in that moment upset and he's looking for help, it will actually produce his estrogen because he's looking for help, and his testosterone will go down. and that causes more stress. Because remember, so one of the big problems is this woman's coming home from the workplace. She's on her male side. She'll naturally want to connect with her female side, but ironically and unfortunately, she will want her husband to talk.
Yes.
Okay. Unless he's a talkative guy, then she doesn't want that either. But the first thing she wants is how are you feeling? What's going on? What are you needing? She'll go into this nurturing female side of her, and either she wants to talk about her feelings. Either she because she's on her male side, she really doesn't know what she's feeling. All she knows is a drive to connect with a man, and she thinks we'll connect. She needs connection. So connection, she can ask questions of him at a time when he doesn't want to answer questions. He wants his silence. He wants to disconnect. He wants to detach. She wants to go inside and connect because she needs connection. Connection produces estrogen, but there's two types of connection. There's one connection where you go into me and we feel connection. Another one is I go into you and we connect. So because she needs connection and because she doesn't understand this new need that she has, because she's on her male side, how to come back to her female side, she needs the kind of connection where he goes into her, not her going into him. So this is all just to explain something that we know is common sense, but we also have research to show it, is that when women experience moderate stress, if they can talk about their emotions, their estrogen levels will go up. If they can talk about problems with that to somebody that's not even going to solve the problem. If she wants someone to solve the problem, okay, her estrogen will go up a little bit. But if she talks about her problems and expresses emotion, her estrogen shoots up really high. And a man's testosterone will start to rise up as well. So this is what I call Venus talk.
Okay.
The Venus talk. And I teach these in a weekend. And as simple as what I'm going to say, I have to work with people quite a bit, sometimes 30 minutes to get them to actually do a Venus talk because women are so bad at talking about their emotions. They're good at complaining. They're good at blaming. They're good at criticizing. Very hard to turn inward and say, I feel frustrated when this happens. I feel disappointed because that didn't happen. I feel concerned and worried that this could happen. And feel the emotion of fear, feel the emotion of sadness, feel the emotion of anger, frustration. These actually, when you can relax enough to actually feel the emotions, you make huge amounts of estrogen. And if you have somebody listen to you who's going to validate your feelings, your estrogen will go even higher. Actually, it doesn't go much at all if you anticipate someone telling you shouldn't feel the way you feel. Now, when a woman gets upset about a problem, what does a man do? He wants to explain to you how to solve the problem. Why am I telling you how to solve the problem? So you shouldn't feel what you feel. So anytime a man gives a woman a solution when she's upset or stressed, she's not going to make estrogen. She just has somebody invalidating her complaint as opposed to help me understand that better. So this is the complication of married couples. I mean, it just ruins marriages. People are more stressed, and now women on their male side at workplace, they kind of go, "Why do I want a man in my life?" You know, they're such bad listeners, and often, why do I want a man? Because they're not emotionally available. Now, emotionally available means they don't talk about their emotions. Well, you don't want a man who talk about his emotions. What you want is a man who'll listen to your emotions.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's all confused.
It is completely confused. That's so true. And I hear this so often from women that when they come home, the man doesn't want to listen to them. He said, I don't want to hear anything about your job or anything.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. He doesn't want to hear anything.
Yeah.
And how to shift this around? Okay. The reason why doesn't he want to hear about your job? First of all, let's just hear that. Because anytime a man hears a problem, he needs to solve it. If there's a problem and I can't solve it, I have two options as a man. I can feel stressed because I'm not successful in solving that problem, or I can just forget that. Okay? And that's the healthiest thing. When it's a good thing about men is that we can shut off the overwhelm.
Yes.
There's nothing I can do about it. If I have no time to do it, then forget it. And that's a masculine quality. Now, you have to have a certain amount of testosterone to do that. But even the motivation to do that increases your testosterone. But when men are being told, oh, you should talk about your feelings, it weakens his ability to let things be forgotten until you can do something about it. So a lot of men don't know how to do that. I do, okay? And that was trained in me through meditation, okay? So the whole idea of meditation is to forget your problems.
Yes.
You focus on a mantra and you just repeat it over and over and over. So you're focused on this to forget that. So, and this was mainly taught in India for men, okay, because men actually have the potential to quickly learn how to forget your problems. Women are designed to remember their problems, talk about it. So let's go back to that village where the jungle's just right there. There could be an animal. You have no protection or nothing to protect you. So if you saw an animal, you heard a roar, or hyenas in the jungle, whatever it might be, you're going to immediately need to go tell somebody.
Yes.
So this is a woman's reaction. This is women. I got to tell somebody. So to put it playfully, women are like the alarm bells and men are the firemen. Okay. This is an easy way to go. Your job as women is to be the alarm. Men do not want to hear the alarm. Why do they not want to hear it? Because whenever they try to put out the fire, there's no fire. You say, I don't need you to listen. I don't or you get an argument, whatever. So how to solve this? So men don't want to hear it unless you say to a man, and this is a Venus talk. There's a lot of rules here. Just till you learn how to do it, then it's automatic. You say to him, now, honey, I realize that you don't want to think about problems. You want to forget the day. You don't want to hear about my problems. I get that. So in the past, probably our conversations have gone on a long time. But what I found out that if I can talk about my problems at work for 10 minutes and you don't say anything, that I'll feel better. It will actually help balance my hormones because I'm in the work hormones. I need to be in my female hormones. I need to talk about problems at work. Now, in the past, I'll talk about you, and so that's terrible. I shouldn't talk about my problems with you. So what I want to be able to do is talk for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, and you'll see I'll feel better at the end, and I'll give you a hug and say thank you. And you don't, only if you say nothing. And you don't suggest any solutions, you don't solve any problems. Because I'm not talking to get a solution from my problems. I'm talking just to vent my feelings. Helps me be aware of what's inside if you're just there listening. And you don't have to say anything. I know it feels like you're not doing anything, but you'll see. I'll let you know that it makes me feel better. I feel more at ease. I feel more comfortable. I feel relaxed. Only because you have you in my life, someone who loves me and cares about me. But all you have to do is listen and not say anything. Now, if you say anything, it won't work. I don't want you to say anything. I will just talk for 10 minutes about problems at work. I'll share frustrations. I feel disappointments. I'll share concerns and fears. And then I'll let it all go because I need to first talk about it to let it go. If I actually want you to help me solve a problem, I'll do that at a different time, but not now. This is just venting. There's not a man I've ever met that won't do that. It's the easiest thing in the world. Give me a 10-minute job where I don't have to talk, where you're not going to complain about me. And that's the most important thing. She has to tell him, you have to get this tape of this talk. Women should listen to this again and again because there's like 5 components here, maybe 7. But one is, this is not about you in any way. Okay. I don't want you to offer a solution in any way. I don't need that. I can solve these problems myself. I just need to get it off my chest, so to speak. I need to get it off my chest, out of my mouth. Okay. So I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna talk about negative feelings and like frustration or anger, but none of it's directed at you, and none of it is permanent. I just need to vent it to let it go. So you have to explain to them. Men don't know this. They think we got to explain to you why you don't need to feel this way. By talking about it, it will increase my estrogen, and then I won't be making a mountain out of a molehill.
Okay.
Now that's a powerful thing to say to a man. Look, if I can talk about this, then I won't make my problems at work make a mountain, and I can bring them back to just problems I can handle. That takes humility. This is a lot of independent, successful women don't have that humility, so they have to listen to this. You have to realize you are making a mountain out of a molehill whenever you're stressed. This is proven. This is what goes on in the brain when we're stressed. We're making a mountain out of a molehill. Now, there's other. I call them ways your brain is hijacked, but it does happen. So if you can humbly say, sometimes I make a mountain out of a molehill. I make a big deal out of things, and I just need to talk about it, and then I can relax. And I'm going to talk about things that are not you. We're not talking about the relationship. I know you don't like that. We don't have to do that. But for me to feel happier, if I can talk about things that are going on at work. Now, in the beginning, she can somewhat do this. It takes practice, but then the real practice is whatever you say, so-and-so did this and I didn't expect them to. Oh, I feel frustrated about that. I feel disappointed about that. This is the key thing our Mars Venus coaches know, is to help people to connect with their emotions that are holding them back from being fully loving and at ease and comfortable. The feeling letter technique, for example, something we teach beyond the scope of this interview. But the Venus talk, so powerful to be able to come home. And even if you don't know your emotions, you can still get a lot of estrogen out of just talking for 10 minutes about problems at work. And towards the end of the 10 minutes, you're looking at the clock, start focusing on what you're grateful for.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for. He's got experience that you've shifted.
Okay.
So I'm really grateful that so-and-so at my work did this, and it's not as bad as I think. Something positive. Mm-hmm. Thank him for listening, and then go in and now I just need an 8-second hug. 8-second hug. And then what you do is you quickly say, thank you, I feel better, and leave the room.
Okay.
You can't stay in the room because it's still in his brain. There's still a part of his brain that wants to solve all your problems. Okay, so you just have to create a space from that. Space is really important. So there's a lot of ingredients that make this work. The most important, of course, is that you're not going to talk about him, and he's not the problem. The second is he can't really talk. Okay, no, and he will. He'll break the rules because he has. These are instincts. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, really? And then you have to just back off very nice and go, that's a good idea. I get it, but I don't really need to solve that. I can solve these on my own. And if I do need help, I'll ask at another time. Right now, we're just doing Venus talk. I'm spending 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. What's interesting is you'll be amazed. Anytime you want a man to listen to you, tell him how long it's going to take.
Okay.
See, we have this feeling of it's going to, there's been these long drag-out conversations in every relationship. And so he just remembers that long one. So if you just say, I'm only going to talk 5 minutes, only going to talk 10 minutes. I have a thing with my wife, which is when she's traveling or I'm traveling, we like to talk on the phone. It's very important to connect. Mm. But our guideline is no more than 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. In my mind, I think it's just going to be 10 minutes. I'm so present, 100% right there. But the idea of, and maybe for some men, he can handle 15 minutes. And sometimes I'll go on longer. But if I need to get off the call, I say, our 10 minutes are up. She says, okay. So she doesn't take it personally. Because once she starts connecting to her female side, she has more attachment. She wants to connect more and so forth. So this is a practice where it does two things. It trains her that she doesn't have to talk for a long time to produce a lot of estrogen. Okay, and it does happen. This is a miracle. And a man is trained that he doesn't have to talk when she's upset about things. He's developing his skill of what's called containment. Containment is every great man can contain his emotions. So he remains cool, calm, and collected. Right. He doesn't have to jump and interrupt and make someone wrong or get angry with them. You could feel anger, you contain it. The more you can contain your negative emotions, if you're a man, you're actually making testosterone, and it's the low testosterone that was causing you to have the negative emotion. Now, there are situations, this is for the normal problems of life. Then there's the big deals, which is, you lose someone you love, you lose all your money, this is grief, So then there's a place where you need to process your emotions if you're a man, because your estrogen levels have gone so high that you're way on your female side. And using a coach and using our feeling letter process, what you're doing while you're feeling the emotions, if you're a man, you're also analyzing them from the perspective of why I'm feeling this way, what is actually happening. What happens to make me feel this way is objectivity, that's masculine. Analyzing why you're feeling this, where does it come from, what is the frustrated desire or need. All of this analysis helps him to come back to his male side while he's looking at his female side. When he's listening to his wife be emotional, he's containing any reaction just to not say, oh, you shouldn't feel that way or you should do this. That containment, that putting on the brakes is also testosterone producing. So these are really great bonding experiences. Yes. And when a woman can get practices on a regular basis, her brain will anticipate, oh, wait till I get to tell my husband about this. Wait till I get to tell my husband about that.
Okay.
And if it's not my husband, it's my therapist or it's my good friend. But there's a thing that happens when you're talking to family members that's different when you're talking to a coach I'm talking for women here. If you're talking to family members versus a coach or a therapist, is different parts of your brain become activated, which allow you to be more objective. Yes, the objectivity is you're strengthening the male side while you're on the female side. So you try to blend both those things. You'll never have that so much with your family members, but you can have it with your husband. Your husband has built-in objectivity. As soon as there's moderate stress, men, immediately their emotions go away and they become very objective.
Right.
That objectivity that is a mirror that allows you as a woman in your emotions to be objective and also emotional at the same time. Were you able to hear that?
Yes, Dr. John Gray, that is incredible, the talk you've given, what you've shared today. We are coming towards the end, and are you here, Dr. John Gray? Are you here?
I'm here. The screen was frozen there for a moment. Yes. I heard you. Were you able to hear me?
Yes, I was able to hear you. I would like to say, I think I have to let you go and invite you again because what you shared is so powerful, and I really recommend everybody, men and women, to listen to this podcast by Dr. John Gray. And your links will appear below, Dr. John Gray, for people to reach out to you. I've got your links, so I will put it at the end of the podcast. And I would say a huge, huge thank you for taking your time today to talk to the audience. I know you've got to hop on another call, so I won't keep you any longer. I am really looking forward to catching up with you in person soon. So huge thank you, and please come back again.
Let me give you a few updates since you have the.
Please.
I'll make this time. A lot of these ideas are in the book, as you mentioned, Beyond Mars and Venus. There's a lot more of these exercises that I have for couples, and will be in my new book, which is coming out this year, which is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus for Women Only, Book 1. There's 5 books in the series this year. I'm just editing them all. And this one is the foundation, and it's the Be Happy With or Without a Man, with all of the techniques. And then more techniques and understanding comes in the next series, is how to talk to a man so he'll listen. It's not just venting your feelings, but it's learning to negotiate deals. And, there's a lot of difficult topics that couples go through and how to make sure that they're not so difficult. We're going to bring harmony back into the family. And then the next book after that is what happens when you don't communicate well, which is how you unknowingly, what to do and not do when a man pulls away. Because when there's tension in a relationship, a man will tend to disconnect, how to bring back that connection. Yes. Then there's another one, which is, that's enough to take in for right now.
Yes. And when can we expect to see the books?
Probably in the next few months, the first book, and then in the series, and 3 months later, the next one. And another exciting thing, as a Mars Venus coach, you know how powerful the feeling letter process is. So I've developed an app, which should be out next month, which is called Mars Venus Heart Space.
Okay.
And it will ask you 4 questions and then translate your answers into emotional statements in the feeling letter process. And this is really helpful for people to begin linking their objective thinking about what happened, what didn't happen, into the language of emotions, because it's through the language of emotions that if you're a woman, your estrogen levels will go up. And for a man, through the expression of the analysis of those emotions, which is the man's version, the testosterone goes up. So this is a very powerful tool for people that will be available, called Mars Venus Heart Space app. And all that will be available at marsvenus.com. So once again, a real pleasure to spend this time with you, Rani. It seemed like just the other day we were on, but nice to see you.
Thank you. Huge thank you to you. Thank you for sharing about upcoming books and the app. I think that's going to be very, very helpful to people to process their emotions using that app. And I will get that app. I really am looking forward to that. And I've been watching your Thursday, so anybody can listen to Dr. John Gray as well. He's online every Thursday afternoon, and you can ask questions, put on the chat. It will get answered by him. Where Rich, the other director, will ask John some questions. So please come and listen. It's always so powerful. You learn so much. I am there every Thursday. So thank you, Dr. John.
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.
All right.
Thank you.
Again. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, bye. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and listening to Dr. John Gray, to this incredible talk. And I would like to say that I will see you all very soon with another guest for another episode. And remember that you are amazing. You have always been amazing, and you always will be amazing. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.